The world pauses, just for a heartbeat. In the hush between night and dawn, two shadows move with the patience of predators and the precision of fate. One is a king forged in monsoon forests. The other is a phantom shaped by Africa's sun. And somewhere in the tightening grip of a changing planet, their paths are about to cross. Night holds its breath. The grass does not sway so much as it shivers, as if the earth itself can sense what is coming. Somewhere beneath the moon's thin silver, the ground becomes a drumskin stretched tight with tension. A vibration, too soft for human ears, travels through the soil like a secret message. Two living weapons, shaped by millions of years of evolution, begin to listen. A forked tongue tastes the air, reading scent like invisible handwriting written in heat, dust, and fear. Another body moves nearby, not with noise, but with intention, muscle sliding over muscle, scales whispering against the world. This is not a story of good or evil. This is survival, ancient, and unforgiving. Tonight, the world's deadliest serpents drift toward the same narrow doorway of fate, the King Cobra and the Black Mamba. In Southeast Asia, the land is alive with moisture. Monsoon clouds gather over India's forested slopes and the green arteries of Myanmar and Thailand. Rain falls in relentless sheets, hammering banana leaves, flooding the forest floor, turning pathways into streams and streams into rivers. The air grows thick with humidity, a warm weight that clings to skin and breath. Underfoot, leaf litter decays into rich soil, and life multiplies in every shadow. In this lush, steaming world, a sovereign moves. The King Cobra, Ophiophagus hana, is not merely a snake. It is a legend made muscle and patience, longer than any other venomous snake on Earth. It glides through bamboo thickets, mangrove edges, and dense woodland with calm certainty. A predator that has learned time is also a weapon, but what truly crowns it king is not size alone. It is purpose. Unlike many serpents that hunt rodents or frogs, the king cobra is a specialist, an apex hunter that feeds on other snakes. Its very name means snake eater, and it carries that title like an oath. In a world of fangs, it targets the fang bearers. Here, vision is often stolen by vegetation. The forest is a maze of green walls and damp corridors, so the cobra reads life through subtler languages. Scent trails, tremors, the faint chemical footprint of scales sliding through wet earth. It does not simply move through the jungle. It interprets it, like a map written in invisible ink. When threatened, it does not always flee. It rises. Its hood blooms outward, transforming its silhouette into something larger, broader, almost mythic. An evolution-built warning sign. This display is not only intimidation, it is negotiation, a chance to end conflict without paying the brutal price of injury. In nature, every fight is expensive. A torn scale can become infection. A broken tooth can mean starvation. Even victory can carry the seed of death. Yet when the king cobra must strike, it does so with controlled force. A forward surge, a precise bite, venom delivered with intent. Its venom is not always the most potent drop for drop, but it can deliver a large volume, enough to overwhelm a rival predator. It is a river, not a needle, and the king is built to endure. Long reach, stamina, and the kind of calm that turns panic into opportunity. There is another advantage, rarer than venom, intelligence. Field observers have described the king cobra as unusually alert, even deliberate. It seems to assess risk, to track threats with focus, to choose when to press forward and when to withdraw. In the wild, smart is not a compliment. It is survival carved into behavior. And perhaps most astonishing of all, the king is also a guardian. Among snakes, it is one of the few known to build a nest, using its body to rake leaf litter into a mound for its eggs, then remaining nearby to defend them. In a world where most reptiles abandon their young to fate, the king cobra stays, a living shield. A predator, yes, but also, in its own cold-blooded way, a parent. Half a world away, another kingdom burns under a different sky. In sub-Saharan Africa, the sun is not gentle, it is authority. It bleaches the savanna into gold and bone. Wind combs through tall grasses. Acacia trees stand like scattered sentinels, thorn-armed and patient. Rocky outcrops bake until they hold heat like memory, and the day hums with insects, hooves, and the sharp calls of birds that hunt from above. Here, Speed is survival, and the deadliest elegance is named the Black Mamba, Dendrospis polylepis. Its body is often olive gray or brown, camouflage woven from dust and shadow. The darkness lives inside its mouth. A black ink-deep lining flashed as a warning, a sudden abyss revealed before the bite. It is not drama, it is a final message. Do not come closer. The Black Mamba is engineered for motion. Long, streamlined, and powerful, it can raise its head high, scanning the landscape like a living watchtower. It hunts by day, in open country where stealth must be fast and decisions must be exact. Its venom is a swift neurological sabotage, neurotoxins that disrupt the body's signals, turning coordination into chaos, breath into struggle, life into a race against time. But what makes the mamba infamous is not only venom, it is velocity. In short bursts, it can move with astonishing speed, a dark ribbon cutting across sunlit ground. Yet it is not reckless. The mamba is alert, cautious, and often chooses escape over confrontation. It does not waste venom, it does not hunt humans. It fights when cornered, when the world leaves it no corridor to vanish into. Its adaptations tell the story of Africa itself. Efficiency in heat, mastery of open terrain, and a nervous system sharpened by a landscape where danger can arrive from every direction. Raptors from the sky, mammals from the grass, human footsteps from roads that did not exist a century ago. The Black Mamba is not a monster. It is a masterpiece shaped by sun and scarcity. Under natural conditions, these two animals would never meet. One is born of monsoon forests and humid shadow. The other is forged in savanna light and rocky heat. Their continents are separated by oceans, their evolutionary stories written in different alphabets of survival. And yet the modern world is a world of broken boundaries. Roads carve through wilderness like fresh wounds. Forests fall for farms. Grasslands become fields. Human expansion compresses wild space into smaller fragments, forcing predators and prey into tighter corridors, and darker currents, illegal wildlife trade, exotic pet demand, unregulated transport, move animals beyond the maps that shaped them. A crate becomes a cage. A market becomes a crossroads. A creature adapted to one ecosystem wakes in another, surrounded by foreign air and unfamiliar silence. This is not nature staging a spectacle. This is disturbance, collisions created by our footprint. In shrinking habitats, apex animals are pressed closer together into narrow strips of shelter, into the last pockets of shade. Stress rises. Encounters become more frequent, and when apex predators collide, the consequences ripple outward, changing the balance of entire ecosystems. A snake is not just a snake. It is a regulator of life, controlling rodents, shaping prey behavior, influencing crops, even affecting disease patterns. Persecute predators, and the land quietly pays the price. Dawn begins to dilute the darkness. In one world, rainwater clings to leaves like glass beads, and the forest exhales mist. In another, sunrise ignites the savanna, turning dew into vapor and shadows into thin ribbons. Somewhere at the edge of human interference, where wild space has been bent, redirected, and narrowed, two deadly realities drift toward the same refuge: a hollow in stone, a pocket of shade, a strip of safety in a landscape that no longer feels safe. The King Cobra advances with measured confidence, tasting the air for the signature of serpent scales, reading the ground like a story. The Black Mamba moves with restless precision, alert to every vibration, every silhouette, every shift in wind. They do not hate. They do not crave violence. But nature is not sentimental. When two survival machines want the same resource, shelter, territory, the promise of prey, one truth rises above all others. Only one can remain close to it. This is how battles are born in the natural world. Not from malice, but from pressure. Pressure from hunger. Pressure from competition. Pressure from a changing earth. As climate change reshapes seasons, turning rains unpredictable, pushing heat into extremes, shifting prey into new patterns, those pressures grow heavier. Snakes, like all wildlife, must adapt or disappear. Some will move closer to people, some will be killed out of fear, some will be taken, traded, and torn from the ecosystems that gave them meaning. The King Cobra and the Black Mamba are not villains. They are warnings, beautiful, lethal reminders that nature is powerful and fragile. In Part 2, the distance closes, the displays begin. The first strike becomes a question the body must answer, and the earth, silent witness, waits to see which kingdom of venom will bend and which will endure. As temperatures rise and seasons grow unpredictable, even ancient predators feel the strain. The monsoon no longer arrives on time. The savanna's dry months stretch longer than memory. Prey migrates earlier or disappears entirely. Water sources shrink into muddy shadows of what they once were. In this tightening world, instinct becomes sharper, patience shorter. A king cannot rule an empty forest. A mamba cannot outrun a burning plain. Climate change is not a distant headline here, it is a silent pressure, pushing wildlife into unfamiliar ground, forcing encounters that evolution never intended. And when survival corridors collapse, even the most perfectly adapted hunters must gamble with risk. Because in nature, when space disappears, conflict takes its place. The air thickens with awareness. The King Cobra senses it first, not sight, not sound, but a pattern in the earth that does not belong, a rhythm too deliberate to be prey. Its body stills, muscles coiled beneath scales that catch the morning light like burnished bronze. Across the clearing, the Black Mamba pauses mid-glide. Its head rises slightly, tongue flickering, tasting a signature that is both foreign and dangerous. This is not rodent, not bird, not harmless serpent. This is something large, something armed, something capable of ending a life in a single mistake. Distance becomes everything. In the wild, centimeters decide fate. The cobra measures range with quiet calculation, lifting higher, hood beginning to unfurl like a dark banner of warning. The mamba does not flare. It stretches taller instead, its narrow body forming an elegant S, a spring drawn tight. Both snakes understand the language of posture. This is not yet combat. This is assessment. Venom is precious. Injury is permanent. Every movement is deliberate. A question asked in muscle and shadow, will you retreat? The wind shifts. Dry grass whispers. Somewhere above, a bird startles into flight as if sensing the charged geometry below. Two apex predators, born on separate continents, now stand within striking distance because the world has grown smaller and harsher. Heat lingers longer each year. Forest edges shrink. Human expansion squeezes wildness into fragments. And in these fragments, space is no longer guaranteed. Shelter is contested. Survival is negotiated in silence. The first strike has not yet been thrown, but the earth already knows. What happens next will not be spectacle. It will be necessity.